Happy Metaphysical Sunday, y'all. And welcome to Extraordinary Women. Okay. Tonight's conversation isn't just about business, it's about belief. Because before the money shows up, before the opportunities come, before the doors open, there's a moment where you have to see it for yourself first. And not everybody can just do that. Not everybody is willing to trust something they can't touch. We're talking about faith in your vision. Okay. Alignment with your purpose, the courage to build something that doesn't yet exist in the physical world. See, some people call it business, other people call it strategy. All right. But if we're being real, this is metaphysics in motion. This is what happens when mindset, intention, and action all comes together. And tonight we're sitting with a woman, my homegirl. Okay. She didn't just follow a path, she created one. A woman who understood that success isn't just about what you do, it's about what you believe is possible for yourself. So the real question is, are you thinking small because of your circumstances, or are your circumstances small because of how you think? Let's get into it. I'm inviting Miss Mary Dean, okay, lawyer extraordinaire, owner of the Wall Street Lawyer.com. All right. To the stage. How you doing, sis?
I'm good. I'm good.
It's good to see you.
Likewise.
Haven't seen you in a bit. I miss you.
And I love you said that. Is your belief, is your business small because of your belief? Say that again. Because
Yes.
I loved how you said that.
Yes. I said, are you thinking small because of your circumstances, or are your circumstances small because of how you think?
Mm, That's a word. My word. My word. That's how I feel when you read that. Like they read the word in the church house.
Yes.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. I want to say something before we begin. One thing that impressed me when I first met you was the fact that I saw that you also use metaphysical concepts, okay, in your thinking, and also in just in your way of life. And so I kind of felt like we became like little kindred spirits there for like sisters in spirit, because you have that same line of thinking. It doesn't take away from our belief in God and things of that nature, but we expand upon it because we believe in that concept. So, Mary, can you tell the audience a little bit about who you are?
Yes, I'm Mary Dean Esquire at the Wall Street Lawyer.com, proud founder of BlackWallStreet.com, because Black wealth is critical to Black power. That's my mission. But and here's the thing: when people meet the brand, the Wall Street Lawyer, and they see me in a suit, and they assume that it's just materialism and highbrow corporate stuff. But I became the Wall Street Lawyer in my darkest hour. Literally, God gave me that brand, and it really just it's an expansion of my, I don't say belief, but of my knowingness. um I always say God loves me too much for me to suffer this world in vain. And so if he's allowing suffering to come into my experience, is really for a good reason. And I'm just always insistent on finding that reason. So I became the Wall Street Lawyer when my brother called me while he was high on crystal meth.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that, girl.
My life. So yeah.
Yeah. Mary, what impressed me is that, first of all, you're still so young to me. You're still my baby. And I love the fact that you have you're practicing in both New York and also in Texas, where you currently are located right now. Over the course of the year that I've known you, we discussed a lot of stories about how to draw things to us, especially when it comes to money, business, clients, and things of that nature. And I wanted to know, I know for certain your background was a little rough, all right, especially when it was dealing with your brother and trying to save him. All right. Tell us, what made you get into law in the first place? What?
Problem turn opportunity, because my family told me I could never be a lawyer.
What?
Yes. You didn't know that one either?
Yeah. No, I never knew that. I never knew that. I thought that was just something that you love to do, you know?
No, I probably would have been in art, majored in art or something. I
Okay.
do have out of a colorful, vibrant personality. So I don't know if going into law was, if it wasn't for being, I'm kind of pushed. I was inspired. I'm from Sunnyside, South Park, the South Side of Houston, and so my family, my aunt was a a career criminal, and don't nobody in the Black family know the law better than a career criminal. So by default, the career criminal became the family lawyer. Now you can't make this up.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm not making this up. This is my life. Okay. So
Yeah.
she was a family lawyer. And so they would debate in the living room, and I would come in and try to debate and say, I'm gonna be a lawyer. I want to be a lawyer when I grow up. And they laughed. They laughed. And because they said I was pretty but not smart. And so yes, ma'am. And so they said I was an airhead. They said they laughed. And that's what made me say, well, I don't know if I can be a lawyer either. So, I mean, you can say you want to be a lawyer. You can say you want to be a millionaire. You can say you want to do and be these things. But until you do it, how do you know if you can do it or not? There's only one way to find out. You got to do it. So That's why I became an attorney.
From the criminal background. We got people in the house. Hey there, get your life. It's nice to see you today. And also, guys, if you want to give us a call and speak to Mary directly, 347-620-6771 is our number. Again, 347-620-6771. This is a good chance to ask her any questions. I'm not sure if she's able to solve your legal problems because we're not here for that. We only have a certain amount of time. But give us a call, okay? But again, when we hear, I love the fact that you created blackwallstreet.com. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
So that's another one that came to me in a dark hour. The love of my life, the man that gave me, opportunity instead of himself. This was one of the things that were birthed out of that opportunity.
Yeah.
And so it was, on Wall Street, that's a good old white man's club, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember when I first started working on Wall Street, I kept, ain't no black bosses. All the black men is shine shoes around. Where is the black bosses? Where is the? Okay, so then I finally met one.
And you met a boss. And he's not just a boss. He's a boss.
I met the boss that made Black Wall Street, possible. BlackWallStreet.com possible for myself. And what it is what I put there is a course of action. I hate the word course because it's not something that you sit in front of your computer and take on your own. It's a course of action steps that I do with you, things that you are supposed to be doing to make sure your business is healthy and thriving. And so the foundational systems, I go through your legal, insurance, financial, and tax systems that every business needs to lift that system to the next level. We call it our Black Wall Street Signature Lift systems to support your sales system. I even brought in a sales system because I wanted to make sure people didn't just come and do paperwork to make sure their business is healthy, but what about your financial health?
Right.
How are you making revenue? You're much more inclined to think about the contracts you need when you're actually making money. And so for the first 30 days, that's what we focus on. We really focus on making money in that business. Then we focus on protecting that money.
I love it. So do you mostly deal with clients that have businesses? Is that what
I want to start? If you don't have a business and you come through the course, you say, I don't have a business yet, but I have an idea. I want to start one. Then we can roll that up into and everything. Instead of seeing how healthy you don't have any hole. So the lift assessment, we go through and see what holes you have in your business. Right. But you can have all holes in your business, meaning that you don't have anything, and you come to us and we establish all of that thing for the first time. So if you want to start or grow.
Okay, I like that. I like that. How has it been so far, and how long have you been practicing on your own?
Oh gosh, well, practicing on my own, that's another problem turn opportunity. My life has been set up with this, it is my life testimony, right? So the first job I ever got coming out of law school, they asked me, it was a nonprofit company, how much money do you want to make? I want to make my 6 figures. Now I went to school 7 years, I want 6 figures. Okay. So they said, lady, ma'am, we don't have that to pay you, but we got this. We got $50,000 to pay you, but you can practice on the side. You
Oh,
can have your
wow.
own business on the side. So I got my 60 out the bud. You gonna give me the other half? Okay, I guess I'll go get the other half. And so that's how I did it. And so since that was what I started, then it stayed with me. Every time jobs came and went, but I never could quit on myself, even when I tried. Sometimes the only way you can quit on yourself is, and that ain't happening. So I never quit on myself. So
Yeah.
jobs came and went, and I stayed. And eventually, I didn't need the jobs anymore.
Right. I got that. I love that. So, because we talked about that so many times about, venturing into like corporate, into your own business, entrepreneurship, and things like that. So that's awesome that you were able to do that. And I like the fact that your job allowed you to do that, because most
Thank
jobs,
you.
they give you that non-compete, whatever NDA, you can't do nothing on the side if you're working for me type thing, thinking you're going to steal their clients and all kinds of crap, So that's a good thing that they allowed you that freedom, because
Yeah,
it kind of like set you on your path to where you need to be.
it did. It
Yeah,
did.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So, what, why do you believe ownership, okay, not just income, but ownership is the key to real power in this world?
Well, because it's yours to own. And anything else is going to make you a slave to someone else who owns something.
Right.
That's just the bottom line, is freedom. I can, I can have my own, I can own my own car, or I can borrow your car. But if I borrow your car, if something happens to it, I got to fix your car, and I still ain't got no car, right? I'm bound by the terms of your service of your car. If you tell me to be back by 8, I got to be back by 8 because it is your car. So the only way to truly be free is to have ownership of sovereignty of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And the more that you own, the more sovereign that you can be, the more freedom you can have.
I like that. Yeah. Someone asks, what do you think about trust? And then they asked another question, are you able to help with setting up trust?
Clock it. I just set up a trust for Dennis Rodman's girlfriend, and
Oh,
I'm so
that's awesome.
yeah, I just finished her whole stuff, and so which is I'm excited about, because Dennis Rodman says he's next, so he let me
Mhm.
experiment on the girlfriend. He like,
Yeah.
things go smooth with her, then you can do mine.
And it will, and it
Yeah,
will,
and it did.
and it did.
I'm super
Okay.
excited about that. I'm actually going to deliver her trust binder to her this week. And the reason why you want to set up a trust, there are two types of trust. You got a
Hmm.
revocable trust and an irrevocable trust. And
Right.
mind you, also a part of our lift assessment for your business, legal, insurance, financial, and tax. The trust falls underneath the legal aspect. And when it comes to business succession planning. And so just because you have your business, but when you pass away in your business, what happens next? When you pass away in your family, what happens
Right.
next? What happens to your assets? And if you don't have your assets in a trust, and yes, both trusts. If you don't have your assets in a trust, when you pass away, they have to go through probate. Even if you have a will. If you have a will, is not valid until it's actually probated in
Right.
court, meaning that a judge took that will and said, this is a valid will. This will was, constructed under the laws of your particular state in a valid way. I acknowledge that this will is valid. Now the will stands, and you, executor, go out and do everything according to the terms of this will. Until you have that will is still not technically valid. It's a valid
Right.
contract, but it's not enforceable, right? You can't do anything with it until it passes through the probate process. So, but if you have a trust, all assets that go into a trust are outside of probate. Those are not probatable assets. And mainly why? Why is that? Because they're
Yeah.
already passed, they already belong to the trust.
Right.
They don't
Gotcha.
belong to you. So when you pass away, that does not necessarily affect the trust. It might trigger certain other things in the trust. When I pass away, give this to this, do this, do this, do this, but it doesn't have to go through the probate process in order to be
Is a
valid.
trust like essentially like a corporation? You know how
Mm-mm.
corporations, there's nothing behind it, but people put, but it's ownership of something, but it's really nothing behind the corporation.
I could see how you would see it that way, and sometimes people try to do, well, I'll just put my stuff in a corporation to protect it.
Right.
but that's not necessary. Businesses are not designed for that. Businesses, corporations, INCs, LLCs, PLLCs, all the corporate entities are designed to limit your liability while you're conducting business. Period. And so if you're not generating revenue, it kind of makes no sense to park stuff in the LLC. And even if you do, let's say the LLC bought the car and bought the house, and so the LLC, these are assets that belong to the LLC. It still has to go through some type of probate when you pass away, because it belongs attached to you. You own the LLC. The LLC owns the assets. But better, the trust. The trust has to own the assets. The trust is where you park stuff. The trust, I consider a trust. Think of a trust like a wagon. Saw that wagon. A wagon. A wagon. A wagon that you can put stuff in.
Right.
And if you do the right kind of trust, an asset protection trust, an irrevocable trust, then that can be protected from your creditors as well.
Let me ask you a question, because I have a lot of clients. Some of my clients, I'll say half of them are lower income, okay? And then half of them are higher income. But the lower income ones, sometimes they ask me, should I set up a trust? And I'm like, I don't know if you should or not. So when do you think someone should set up a trust?
Anytime they have any kind of asset.
The house.
It could be your asset is a bank account. It could be something as simple as a bank account, which we all should have bank accounts. Come on now.
Right, of course. Yeah.
So you can have a bank account. Even when you pass away, what happens to your bank account?
It goes to the beneficiary, whoever's listed as a beneficiary on your account.
On your account.
If
you
named a beneficiary, because sometimes people forget to name a beneficiary on their bank account.
I've never been asked that before. I've never been asked to name a beneficiary by the bank.
Oh, wow.
Account.
You have to ask for it.
You have to ask for it. So,
yeah. And that's very important, y'all out there. It's important to list a beneficiary so that if anything happens to you, even if you can't talk, say for you have, I don't know, whatever, they can then go in and, help you with your finances. It's someone you have to trust, of course.
Even if you can't,
someone you have to trust.
You still, it only protects you if you pass away. Because if you let's say you in that situation where you have a stroke, I'm doing a guardianship for someone right now. Brother had a stroke and he didn't name a power of attorney or a healthcare directive. So now what do you do? Right? He's not dead, so you don't have to go through probate process per se, but this man is and if he never recovers, he's got a house, an apartment that needs rent to be paid. He's got money in the bank account that he can't access, but he needs things, but he don't even have the mental capacity to send someone to the bank for him because he don't have the capacity to do so.
Right. All right.
So what do you do in those situations? So really, I like the conversation around, should I have a trust? Should we do a trust or not? Should I have LLC or not? But what you really think that you need to, because everybody's situation is unique, what you need to do is estate planning.
Estate planning, right.
Estate planning. It's the entire, we look at everything. And for some of your only assets might just be your children. But do you have named guardians for your children if something happened to you?
Correct. Oh yeah, right? That was a tough decision I had to make when I had my son. Because I was like, who in my family can I trust with my kid? Definitely not the people that raised me. You know what I'm saying? Girl. Y'all give us a call, 347-620-6771 if you can. We have another question for you. Can you put the LLC under the trust?
Yes. Yep.
I like that.
And you should.
Okay. And okay, for instance, I have several LLCs. So
clock it.
When somebody told me you have to do it this way with the middle finger, because if you do it with this,
what that means
is incorrect.
That's how everybody does it.
The gay men said no.
They always
why they say no, but they say it's the middle finger, girl.
They don't. They so nasty.
You already know. You already know. Okay.
It's giving two finger. I know we gonna clock it like we've been doing it. They trying
Okay,
to.
girl. Okay. All right. So, Mary, you know I'm a numerologist. I love numerology and things like that.
I love numbers too.
Dear to my heart. So we are in the year of 2026, okay? And when we break down that year, it equals a one. A one is about beginnings and resets and things like that. What do you think Black people, or especially us Black women, okay, especially the fact that we lost 300,000 jobs last year, all right? What do you think that we should be doing right now this year to build wealth and just to like overall take care of ourselves?
I'm gonna say B. I love AJ McQueen, and I went to see him in concert yesterday. And one of the things that we are not human doings; we are human beings. And the truth of the matter is, while all this other stuff is going on in the world around us, we volunteered our souls to come in and incarnate in this lifetime for a reason. And those of us that have come here, we came here with the internal codes. We
Yeah.
came here carrying the medicine. We are
Yeah.
we are the medicine. We are the medicine. And so all you really have to do is be your best self, be your authentic self, be your true self, be your, and when I say be you without the anxiety, without the fear, be you in your most pure positive state, in your godlike goddess essence, your
Yeah.
provision essence. And in that state, you are the ultimate creator. You birthed every other race out there. You birthed everybody. You are the secret sauce. We are the inventors. The only thing that the white man has invented was slavery. Okay.
They invented the help.
That's the only thing that's the only contribution they brought to the world. Okay.
Okay.
Taking and from other people and making it their own. And so with that being said, now we're at a time when we're claiming who we are. We're not claiming who we are. We've already been it. We've already claimed it. What I'm excited to see in the midst of this darkness that we see around us is that everybody else is finally giving us our flowers. That we are able to live and see that people are finally saying the Black people were created first. People are finally saying
They
they
are.
are
Yeah.
this, they are that, and so which is allowing us to wake up into our true power that we have. We got the ability to part the heavens and get what we need. I don't give a dang if they put chemtrails in the skies or not. We still gonna fly. We came in with the internal codes.
I love that. And it's true. We are the creators.
Yes.
People better recognize. They better recognize.
I'm excited because people are recognizing this is
Yeah.
the first time ever in our lifetime. Well, okay, my life, but I feel like
Our lifetime.
this is the first time ever in what the past couple hundred years where they have finally acknowledged us as mother. They other races, the age, everybody you go.
Yeah.
We can see this now because of the internet. You can go on social media and everybody's got a think piece on how who's the true indigenous people and who are they're indigenous to the world. Every white people, all of them got all these think pieces out now about
Yeah.
how we were the first and we knew what we were talking about. We were true about this and all the things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's exciting to me because to me, I always thought in my youth, I always thought I came here to came here to wake the masses up, and I'm ride or die. I'm gonna do this, and I did, and then somewhere along the way, I've come to understand that all I got to do is be, because what the waking up is that's God's, that's happening all around me. I'm not an anomaly. You are
Right.
not an anomaly. We are right on time.
We are. We are. One thing I say about Black women, first of all, we don't sink, we swim. That's number one. When you put an obstacle in front of us, we're going to jump right over that bitch, okay, and do what we have to do in order to just survive, okay?
Do you want even better with the obstacle? What I have mastered in my life is taking that obstacle, taking that dirt, and coming back with a diamond.
Yeah.
it's not, you don't just jump over the obstacle. What I have discovered in my 45 years of wisdom is that that obstacle really is the secret ingredient. And
Yeah.
anytime God, because me and God, we got this thing going on. Me and Mrs. We got this thing going on.
Y'all got a thing
I'm here with it.
going
And
on.
so it's a love that I know it's the love that has carried me and fed me and whatever. So I
Yeah,
know that he's not gonna let nothing hurt me
that's right.
unless that is that is it's raining for a reason. The rain is just as important as the sunlight,
Yeah,
the
it
creation
is.
process. And so that's, to me, that's kind of my life testimony, my story, my life message, the message that has come into my codes, because my life ain't, for me, ain't been no crystal stair. I
Yeah.
became the Wall Street lawyer because I learned how to eat shit and spit out diamonds. Okay.
Oh, girl, say that again. Say that again.
I
That's
learned
a whole bar.
spit out diamonds. And then when I went to save my brother, and I went to, go seek out Iyanla Vanzant to fix his life, because she got that show on Oprah's network, Iyanla Fix My Life. When I went to go find her to fix his life, you know what I came back with? Bam! She endorsed my
Say
first
that.
book.
That's right.
I'm telling you, my brother
That's
got
right.
by 6 men in Brooklyn and thrown down a flight of stairs. When I found out, and they sent me pictures of his face looked like Emmett Till. I ain't exaggerating. When I saw that the next week, I fell down a flight of stairs. The darkness was all around me. Now, you
Yeah.
couldn't tell me that was going to lead to Dr. Iyanla Vanzant writing me a dope quote to put on the back of my first book. Her books got me through law school. You couldn't.
Yeah.
God, what about the foreshadowing? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
The day that I moved on Wall Street, there was a pig parade. I'm not exaggerating. A pig parade. Now, why is that important? Because God got a sense of humor. My aunt, who told me I could never be a lawyer because I was pretty but not smart, she used to lie to the psychiatrist to get a crazy check. She would tell him that she had a talking pig telling her to hurt people. Nah,
Are you serious?
yes. And the reason why, and she also fat and was a cook, but I digress. She said it was a talking pig because
Yeah.
she wanted to have a story that was believable, not like everybody else said it was just a voice. It was a talking pig, and she took me with her one time because it was like she would joke about it afterwards. So I'm 10 years old, 11 years old, sitting there watching my dumb aunt, who told me I could never be a lawyer, lie and talk about how it's a talking pig telling her to hurt people. Okay, this was my childhood. Fast forward, the day I moved on Wall Street, there was a pig parade.
Yeah.
And why was it a parade? Because they were filming that big budget movie on Netflix called Okja, OKJA, about a flying pig. So literally, when I moved on Wall Street, there were people in marching bands in pig uniforms from head to toe. So you might not can be a lawyer. She said I would, and when I was in law school, she said I wouldn't let Lil Mary represent me in a dog fight. So Lil Mary can't represent you in a dog fight. Lil Mary can't be no lawyer, but Lil Mary obviously can be the WallStreetLawyer.com, moving on Wall Street, okay, with being greeted by the pig parade.
Okay.
And
you see how all that is kind of like divinely connected?
Yes.
That is so divinely connected.
I could not. Look. Hold up. I still got the pic. Let me show you something. Because I keep it on my desk. Because when they did the show Super Pig, if you watch the movie,
Girl,
in the movie, she's eating some pig jerky in the movie. I still have a movie prop.
Girl,
you can't make that up. The Chicken Man gave me that.
I love it. Now I see the correlation of the metaphysics. Well, I see the metaphysics behind all that. That's amazing, girl.
I just trust God no matter what. And so I'm going to tell you now. So even when now we're in the middle of a war, the Epstein files came out. We found out that our country is being run by blood-sucking baby. Okay.
Okay.
And so it just so dark. But then and initially, I'm human. So initially I was a little scared. I was full of anxiety. The emotions came. But after I reminded myself, I'm like, yeah, I'm excited.
Right.
I done got excited because I know what time it is. When the sugar honey iced tea hit the fan, you know what that means? That
Girl.
means me and God about to rock and roll. I know how to ride the wave, baby. I know what my blessings come in the form. You always find the philosopher's stone in a pile of dung.
You do. You do. You have to walk this earth knowing that you will always be taken care of.
Yes, that's the
You really do, without fear. It because fear is what paralyzes us to stop moving. Okay? It really does. You have to walk this earth knowing your power and knowing that you will always be taken care of despite all.
yep.
Despite all.
No matter
All
what,
right?
I don't care. I don't.
Yeah.
It does not matter what come up again. It does not matter. I am
Yeah.
ready to rock and roll. Man, I've been doing this so long now. How dare you get scared?
Okay. Okay. Miss Get Your Life said this is hilarious and divine at the same time. It really is divine. And I'm happy that you see all the correlations that's going through. Now, let me ask you this because you remind me so much of myself.
Uh,
Having family, though, seriously, being called ditzy, I still get called ditzy. I don't give a fuck. I'm still going to be my jolly old good self. I don't care. All right. I know who I am. You also have people in your life tell you what you can't do. Had the same thing happen to me too, sis. Okay. I want to know what mindset were you in to know that that's not true about who you are?
I didn't know. It was only one way to find out.
To go ahead and get it.
That was only one. I mean, because at
But
that
did you have like this underlying belief that whatever they was telling you was not true?
well, anybody that's telling me what I cannot do does not feel like love. It does not feel like you have my best interest. Who would talk to a child like that? You
Exactly.
know, and I'm aware that you the criminal, not me. Now, little me didn't know, little Mary understood that much. You the criminal, not me. So,
Exactly.
but my grandmother would always tell them because I was raised by my grandmother, my dad's mom, and his siblings. So this is my aunt. And my grand at some point, my sister, my grandma said, "Go tell my sister, go talk to your sister because you're the only one she listened to." Well, how can I listen to any of them other adults when they talk to me and tell me what I can't do? I do myself a great service of not listening to them, you know.
Exactly.
And so I didn't know. I sat on
Okay.
the front row in college because I thought I was slow.
My baby. No, you're not.
I did all of the work and the extra credit because I thought I needed that extra oomph. And so
Yeah.
what it really, but that's why I say God love is just so perfect. Because at the end of the day, everybody mind is pretty normal. Some people can walk faster, run faster. Some people are taller, shorter, but we're all pretty much in the but what you have a normal talent, normal ability, and what what you get from that is what you discipline that to do and be. So
Mm-hmm.
even the best singer in the world, if she's not practicing every day, she's nothing. People that master instruments practice it every single day. Raw talent gets you nowhere because people with
Yeah.
no talent can still practice to some level of success. So talent means nothing. It's what
It's
you do.
true. Look what's going on right now in the music industry.
Yes,
Girl.
it's nothing. And so they really did me a service. They did me because they also told my brother he could be those things. So he
Yeah.
grew up being lazy. He rested on his laurels. I don't have laurels. So let me get my butt on the front row. Let me do all the extra credit. Let me do it it made me work for it.
Yeah.
Which
It's
is
always
what you're
people
supposed to do
said that
anyway.
they coddle the boys, but they put so much responsibility on the girls.
They love little boys and raise little girls.
It-
That's it.
Which
They
which
love
should be the kind of like the
It should be the
opposite
opposite. We should love our women and raise the
and
boys.
raise the boys. Exactly. We're going to touch on that a little bit because I know your brother, yo, you did everything you could for that man. You did everything. And I hope this is not such a touchy topic for you.
Mm.
But can we talk about that? Because I know that he, like, you were always in them streets trying to save him,
Mhm.
always being there for him not wanting to, straighten up. And it could have caused a hindrance. Maybe it did in your life at one point.
It
You
did.
always chasing after him, and.
I always lost myself. I lost myself several times over. And it wasn't until Dr. Iana Vizant told me to let him go that I found the strength and the courage to let him go. And it still took me 2 years to let him go from that moment.
Yeah.
It still took quite some time to just completely give him his space. But what I learned, that's how you got to handle men, ladies. Part of the reason
Yeah.
why we can't get these men to do what we want them to do is because we keep trying to get them to do what we want them to do. And the best thing you can do is you speak with your silence. You scream with your silence.
Yeah.
You remove yourself from situations that don't honor your growth. You can't fuss with it. You can't talk with it. You can't plead with it. You can't bargain with it. All you can do is make a statement. If this is it, this is not, then you got to remove yourself. And so being around my brother and my father has taught me that about strong men and the kind of men we like. And the men gonna be men, even though my brother is my brister now. My brister. Yeah, but
oh girl, he changed. He had to change.
he going through the change, boom. But even so, he ain't my brother no more. But he's still a man. You know.
I'm shaking my titties for him, girl.
So
Chicha, chicha.
That's how you gotta handle men. You just gotta let them be. You gotta let them be. Let them do.
And I've
them
always said that because I had a friend before and she was building a man. I said, you cannot, and I kept warning her, you cannot build that. That man must be built. Okay. Because it's not going to work out. I tried to build somebody. Okay. Built. It didn't work out because a man needs to want to have it and want to do it. And then if he builds with you, sometimes he's going to leave you for the woman that didn't see him in his building stage.
Yeah.
I keep telling women that walk on that line. Really, that's a fine line to walk on. Because in one sense, you have the Ryan Coogler's of the world that don't mind building with that woman and still staying with that woman afterwards.
But that, you know what the difference is?
That's once in the blue. That's
I'm gonna tell you the difference.
What's the difference?
Recipe that where that works beautifully.
Okay.
When they are young.
That's true.
When
that is so true. Yes. When you're coming up out the mud with each other.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And in situations where you're equal and you can kind of do this together. Or if you start here with the male here and you're here and then this happens, but then you help them get, that can come back. You know what I'm saying? But if the woman ever starts here and the man is here, I've never seen this work. I've never seen where the woman was here and the man was here and she helped him come up. I've never seen that work. Now, with children, your young teens to 20s, you meet a man and you're in college together. She invested $300. They were boyfriend and girlfriend in their 20s. Who can't? Well, every woman would do that. That's not a hard one. But a woman having to pay the $3,000 mortgage every month, that's a little different.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm happy you said that because they always said that, Jay-Z can go to McDonald's and get a Beyonce, but Beyonce can't go to McDonald's and get a Jay-Z.
Yes.
It's a double standard, unfortunately.
Even when that man, like now, Beyonce outshines Jay-Z by far. No one's looking for Jay-Z at all. But because they started this way, even though she is here financially, she will always adore him this way because he taught her some things which she will accredit her husband, her daddy, and her husband helping her to become who she is.
Correct. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. So, okay. So, Miss Get Your Life said, many gems here, ladies. Make sure you create shorts of this. Of course, girl. We got you. All right. So, let's talk a little bit about Black businesses and things like that. Do you think it's crucial at this point, we, especially as Black women, are supporting each other as much as we can?
Of course. And I
Yeah.
want to remind you guys of this. Living on Wall Street and living in now the juicy, you know who I'm talking about when I say juicy. Okay. The Jews. Okay. I'm trying to, but
Mhm.
I remember living on Wall Street, and I remember being at the corner of Wall Street. They would have their juicy van out there, and
Mhm.
they would be recruiting, and people would walk by and say, "Are you juicy? Are you juicy? Are you juicy? Are you juicy?" And they would be looking for people, and the people that said, "Yes, I am juicy," they would come over to the van. They would give them some snacks and information. They were recruiting people.
For what?
You know how tight for what they run everything. Look
No, I
around.
know they run everything, but what
They do that a lot. So because I said that to say that's how much they stick together. For
no, and
what?
it's true. It's
For
true.
everything. For everything. This is
Yeah.
a way of life.
Yeah.
It
One
wasn't.
time I worked for this Jewish guy, right? And he was an IT professional. And he had me in his office. Now, this is at a time when, your girl was struggling there for a little Sean. Okay. I needed to feed my son, and it was a part time job. And at the time, he was offering me $12 an hour. And because I was so desperate for a little something type of money, because, corporate America turned his back and blackballed me, I said, let me go here with him. So I started working for him, $12 an hour. All right. Doing all his work. And here it is. I'm college educated. I got a degree. Okay. But I'm working for him $12 off the book. Guess how much his receptionist, who was also a Jew, was making?
How much?
$25 an hour. And this is back going 15 years ago.
So she
All
was making
right.
some money for a receptionist.
Or a receptionist, $25. And this is off the book. And I said to him, I said, that's like not fair. He said, well, you accepted it. True. No, think about it. I had to accept responsibility. True. I did accept that salary. And then he gave me the juice. He said, we take care of each other, unlike your race. But he was right. And even though at times I was working for a black organization, and I'll tell you who that was off, camera. That black organization still was not paying me my worth, but he was paying that lady her worth. You see, and I didn't recognize my worth, but I did that day. I did that day. I said never again. And he's right. When you accept something, you accept it. That's it. All right. That's it. It's just a business deal. So, anywho, so, oh goodness, we really need to support. We really need to support, and we need to support. All right. Before we close, I want to ask you this, not as an attorney, not as a founder, but as a visionary. Okay. If Black people truly understood our economic power, what would change overnight?
We would own everything. We would own everything.
Yeah.
We would own everything, because at the end of the day, we do. We
create everything.
We create everything.
But we allow them to own us after we create it.
Yes.
And I always said, if we took back all our inventions and things like that, our musical genius, our intellectual property, everything, we will be a force to reckon with.
Yep. And America would be butt naked.
And America would be butt naked. You're right. You're right. Oh, I love you, Mary. Stop playing. Stop playing. Oh my gosh. No, but that is true. That is true. Okay. Anything else you want to say to the audience before we go, girl, especially as it relates to metaphysics, business, law?
All I can say is if I summed all everything we talked about today, business, law, metaphysics, I have to just say I'm so grateful for you and the friendship that you've shown me, and for having me here today. And I love you, girl. I appreciate you forever. And this is the kind of stuff that we need more of.
Thank you.
So
Thank
I'm
you.
proud of you, and
Thank you.
I appreciate you for having me here today. And
Oh,
this
you're
is an
welcome.
example of that. So yeah.
Yes. And this is just the beginning. So trust, this is just the beginning for me and you. But please also tell us where we can find you, sis.
You can find me on also across all social media at the Wall Street Lawyer. You can also follow me, follow at blackwallstreet.dotcom.com. And if you want to find my book, blackwallstreet.com, How to
Mm.
Build a Thriving Black Business Using the Laws of the Universe, it's on Amazon. And I just found out it's on Walmart. I don't know how it's on Walmart. I got to look
Oh,
into
that's so dope. I love it. Girl,
that.
Mary, you everywhere, girl. That's what's up. All right, y'all. So look, this is your reminder that you are not just here to survive. We are here to create. And as Black women, we are the creators. Okay. Once you understand that, everything in your life will change. All right. This is Extraordinary Women, where we don't just talk about power, we step into our power. Okay. All right. Reach Mary, especially for your wills and trusts, businesses, whatever. Reach out to her and let her take care of you because I'm pretty sure she will. All right, y'all. See you in another 15 minutes because, hey, I'll be back on with Sister Sophia. All right. Have a great one, y'all. Bye.